So on the screen in front of us, we have a mixed number and we have an improper fraction. When it comes to adding and subtracting fractions and multiplying and dividing them, the ability to move between these two forms is very important. So we're going to look first of all at how we convert a mixed number into an improper fraction. So the first thing you need to do, if you bear with me, I'll just get my pen working. Let's get the pen up here. So the first thing we need to do is convert the denominator. So we will look here at 3 and 5. So to start to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction, we'd multiply the whole number by 5. So 3 times 5 is 15. And then we would add the 2 at the top. So we would end up with 17 over 5. Okay, and going in reverse, going from an improper fraction into a mixed number, which you need to do if you're going to give your answer in its simplest terms, we need to see how many times 8 will divide into 31. So counting up the 8 times table, 8, 16, 24. So it goes in 3 whole times, and we have 7 left over. So 31/8 as a mixed number would be 7/8. Okay, so now that we know this, we can kind of go into the addition and subtraction. The main thing to remember with addition and subtraction is you cannot add or subtract fractions until they have the same denominator. To change the denominator, you need to find the lowest common multiple for both numbers. If you struggle with that, if your times tables aren't absolutely on the ball, just multiply the two denominators together. So here we have 3 and 4, which will give us 12. When we multiply those together, they give us 12. So we can change both of the denominators to 12. So that will become 12, and 4 will become 12. Now, the rule in fractions is whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So to go from 3 to 12, I have times by 4. So I would come up here and do 1 times 4, which would give me 4. So 1/3 has become 4/12. And to go from 4 to 12, I have times by 3. So I come up here and do 3 times 3, which gives me 9. And that 3/4 becomes 9/12. So we have 4/12 at 9/12. Now when it comes to adding fractions, we add the tops, the denominator stays the same. So this is going to stay as 12. 4 plus 9 is 13. So we've ended up here with an improper fraction, which we can convert back down into a mixed number, remembering what we did on the previous page. So 12 goes into 13 1 whole time. We have 1 left over, so our answer will be 1 and 1/12. Subtraction, same as addition. We need to get the same denominators before we can subtract fractions. So if we look here, we have 3 and 8. So we can do 3 times 8 will give us 24. This means we need to change the denominators on both these fractions to 24. So we'll do that now. Go there and go there. So whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So to go from 3 to 24, I times by 8. So 2 times 8 is 16. And to go from 8 to 24, I times by 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. Again, as with addition, we don't do anything with the denominator. That stays as it is, 24. And we can do 16, take away 9, which would be 7. So our answer is 7/24. And in this instance, we don't need to simplify down because 7 is a prime number and not a factor of 24. So that is already in its lowest form. So the final thing we're going to look at today is how we deal with adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Now, when it comes to addition, and it's the only form of mixed number that this really works with, we can just add the whole numbers together. So let's do 2 add 1. So 2 add 1 gives us 3. And then let's handle the fractions separately. So we have 1/3 and 3/8. So remembering what we did on the previous page, 3 and 8 will both go into 24. So we can cancel that down. That becomes 24. And 8 will become 24. Now to go from 3 to 24, I times by 8. So 1 times 8 is 8. So we have 8/24. And to go from 8 to 24, I times by 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. So now I have 8/24 add 9/24, which is 17/24. And I have to remember to add back in my whole number, 3. And this fraction doesn't need simplifying because 17 is prime and not a factor of 24. Right, with subtraction, I really recommend that you change them both into improper fractions before subtracting. And to do that, we need to find the lowest common multiple for 3 and 7, which 3 times 7 is 21. So let's change both bottoms to 21, both denominators to 21, and whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So to go from 3 to 21, I times by 7. So 2 times 7 is 14. And to go from 7 to 21, I times by 3, and 3 times 5 is 15. So you can see here we do have to get these into improper fractions because you cannot take 15 away from 14. So our next step now is to convert these into improper fractions. So 2 times 21 is 42, plus the 14 will give us 56. So I have 56 21st, so 2 and 2/3 becomes 56 21st. And 1 times 21 is 21, add 15 will give us 36 over 21. So we can now do the subtraction sum. So 56 take away 36 is 20. And remember, we don't take away the denominators, so that stays as 21. And we have 20 21st. If you'd like to have a go at the sheet attached to this video, good luck, and I will post the answers in a couple of days. Thank you.